Y'all know nothing about this. You need to pay attention. Sit back and relax. It's time for Goodall's Country Kitchen.
All right, I'm south of Lexington in Nicholasville, Kentucky, and I'm at Taco John's. We're going down memory lane today for a lot of reasons. For one, I love Taco John's. There's none in Louisville. This is the closest one you can get. Nicholasville is a suburb of Lexington, and you might notice I got my University of Evansville gear on today, which nothing gives me more pleasure than to wear my Evansville shirt in Lexington, because some of y'all might remember December 2019, Evansville basketball team came into Lexington. UK was rated #1 in the nation that week, and the Purple Aces of Evansville came into Rupp Arena and pulled off the upset. So every time I come to Lexington, I try to wear my Evansville gear. I always get a bunch of crazy looks. But anyway, that's where I graduated from, so I got the rights. I'm not just trying to needle, by wearing Evansville stuff, but sorry, not sorry. So what this video is really going to be about today is memory lane, me going back to my college days. I had transferred after my freshman year from Northwest Mississippi to play football at University of Evansville. And you know how it is when you're in college, you're always broke. So when you're looking around at places to eat, if it's got the words on the sign, 2 for 1 or all you can eat, you already know that's where I was headed. Taco John's just happened to be on Tuesday nights. They had the 2 for Tuesday special. So I go in there, give me about 8 tacos. There was other places like Grandy's Chicken. I remember a friend of mine, Brett Ralph, lives here in Louisville, owns Surface Noise on Baxter Avenue. He and I would go into a chicken place called Grandy's, and they had all you could eat rolls and gravy to go along with your chicken. We go in there and just kill that place. We had a whole circuit. Every night we would go into different places that had all you can eat or happy hour hors d'oeuvres. We just go in and just crush the places. All right, so Taco John's started out in 1969 in Cheyenne, Wyoming as a taco stand, and then eventually became a franchise. I don't know why Louisville's never had a Taco John. There's barely any in Kentucky. There's some down in western Kentucky up close to Owensboro, but this is the closest one to Louisville. So I made the hour-and-a-half drive today through the snow, but it was a beautiful drive through horse country. But they have a special sauce that's actually worth the drive from Louisville to come here and eat. I'll tell you more about it when we get in there. It's kind of cold today. I'll get into more of the history of what I was going to talk about. Of course, I'm going back to the glory days of playing football at Evansville. I'm going to try and cover the whole gambit today. Some of y'all don't care. You might not want to watch this video, but I am going to show you what you can come here to Lexington and get at Taco John's if you're not interested in hearing about my physical prowess on the gridiron. place real quick. You know, it's just basic fast food layout, self-serve, fountain cokes, dining room, pretty small but clean, and nice atmosphere, taking me back to the days of yesteryear. I'm gonna set up in this little corner cozy booth. Let me show you the menu up here. It's pretty simple, mostly taco related stuff, but they also have a taco burger from back in the day. That was one thing I used to get when I would also get my tacos, my bag full of tacos. They're also known for their potato wedges called olays. Potato olays. So I'm going to get some of them too. All right, I'm going to start off my first round. I'm going to go with the old soft tacos that I used to get back in the day and the taco burger. Now, the sauce I was telling you about. I'm not exactly sure what's in it, but I think it's basically fresh jalapenos, pureed, and it's plenty hot. They have other sauces, their regular sauces that they offer, which they have a mild and a hot, but don't get it twisted. This green mild sauce, completely different than the green sauce. You have to specially ask for it. They bring it from the back, so most people probably don't even know about it. Y'all don't know nothing about this. Of course, you know I'm putting ketchup on it, which kind of reminds me here lately, after doing my biscuit and gravy conglomerations, you know, the haters, man, they're really coming out, especially because I've been using my Karen voice. So I've been seeing in the comment section, if you put ketchup on your biscuits and gravy, I'm going to unsubscribe. Oh, well. I'm going to start off with old school, just a regular soft shell taco. You know, I'd be lying if I sat here and said I didn't like Taco Bell, because who doesn't like Taco Bell? Of course, I always went Taco Bell late night. That's the difference between Taco John and Taco Bell. I'd be coming in during the day, sober as a judge, and just crushing some Taco John. I'm going to try one with just the green sauce first. Mm. Mm. That just took me back 40 years. Fall of 1985, when I transferred into University of Evansville.
The hats are in. Perfect for Christmas stocking stuffers. We got the black embroidered Goodall's Country Kitchen caps. They come in black and men's sizes and adjustable and big enough to fit a head even as big as mine. Not only do we have the ball caps, but we have all the other merch that I recently got in. So shoot me an email or a private message and get your order in today. And if you want to skip the shipping charges, come out next week to the Kentucky Flea Market at the fairgrounds and say hello.
Of course, I lived in a fraternity house, Lambda Chi, which was mostly football players. So, you know, we had big appetites. And Taco John just happened to be located, I think it was Washington Avenue, which is just a few blocks away from the school. You had my favorite place, Pizza King, at the corner of Weinbach and Washington Avenue. And then you take a left off Weinbach onto Washington, go down a few blocks, and there'd be your Taco John on the right. That was my place on Washington. The polar vortex is on its way to Louisville, and that means ice storms are on their way too. When the ice gets up underneath the shingles and then thaws out, it causes leaky roofs. That's why you need to call Morley Roofing. Been in business since 1981. They stand behind all their work, and if you mention this ad, you get a 22% discount off any out-of-pocket expense. They do commercial and residential. So don't let me be hearing that Randy Travis song,
I told you so. Oh, I told you so.
If your roof looks poorly, call Morley.
These Olay tots are something else too. One thing about Evansville, when I was going there, I don't know if it's this way now, but at the time it was a test market for different restaurants, whether it be fast food restaurants or chain dinner restaurants. Like one of the places we used to go to for our daily survival rounds was we would go to Daryl's. It was a restaurant, bar, but they had this happy hour there that they would lay out so much food for happy hour. We'd go in and get one drink, get one beer, and then just eat so much. It was such a variety and quantity. We were done eating for the rest of the night. All right, I'm gonna try this taco burger. I think it's just the taco meat, the lettuce, and the cheese, and it's got a nice bun on there, like a buttery bun. I don't think it's a brioche bun, but it might be. Man, that's so good. And they ain't stingy on the meat either. So my first round, I got the 3 tacos, the large Olay tots, the taco burger, and a large diet, and it was $14. Here lately, you go to Taco Bell, you get that same amount of food, it's gonna be 20-something dollars. Quit fronting. Now I'm gonna put some of this red sauce on it. Yep, tastes familiar. And of course, I'm gonna slather it with some of that good hot green sauce. I'm telling y'all gotta come here from Louisville, drive the hour and 20 minutes just to come up here and try some of this green sauce if there's nothing else. I can remember Brett Ralph and myself, I think it was either Mondays or Wednesdays, we would hit Grandy's. And then on Tuesdays, my buddy Kirk Stallings and I, a lot of times we would go to the Taco John's 2 for Tuesday and load up. And then every day during the week, there was a Godfather's Pizza, also on Washington Avenue, I believe, that had an all-you-could-eat lunch buffet. And then Daryl's. And then there was a couple other places that were on our circuit that we would hit too. Young lady, do y'all put sauce on these burgers? Some kind of sauce?
Mild sauce.
Oh, you put a mild on it automatically? I thought there looked like some kind of sauce on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Gives it a nice little taste. If you don't want to jazz it up with that hot green sauce or their hot red sauce, there you go. Wash it down with a little diet. They got breakfast here too, which back in the 80s, I don't think they had breakfast at Taco John. I'll check that out here and see what that's all about too, in case you want to come here for breakfast. Tell you what, what's funny? You never appreciate what you have at the time. You don't miss it until it's gone and you can't get it anymore. That's why it's so nostalgic for me to come back to places like Taco John, Pizza King, different places like that. It just like takes you back in time.
Also, another reason I'm here in Lexington today, I'm getting my daughter Mary a surprise Christmas present, which I can't tell you about now, but I'm going to show you all in later videos why I had to come up here to Lexington to get that too. So she's going to be a happy girl when she sees this Christmas present. And I already know some of y'all were probably wondering, I wonder if he's going to come with his girlfriend Trina. Well, you already know, I already promised you, anytime I have any kind of Hispanic food, Trina's coming along too. So let me go ahead and hit one of these with some Trina on it. Come on now. Oh yeah. Ain't nothing like Trina.
God, can you stop?
And speaking of Hispanic restaurants, if y'all didn't see that Peruvian and Latin cuisine video, you definitely got to go back, check that out. The previous video with me and Big Rodney, man, did we have fun. And you talk about cuisine, culture, Peruvian history. I swear when I left out of there, I started looking up online. I was going to book a vacation with my family to Peru, but then they said it takes a whole day to hike up Machu Picchu. So I ruled it out at that point. I ain't walking nowhere for a whole day. But anyway, if you're looking for Christmas gifts, Peruvian has their gift certificates on sale there, which would be great stocking stuffers for a Christmas present. Also, get you some bottles of Trina. Look up their website, Trina Hot Sauce, and get you some bottles of Trina, especially this good hot fuego sauce, for some good stocking stuffers too. All right, I got some other stuff here I'm going to tell you about in a minute, but I got a dessert, so I want to eat that while it's fresh and hot. These are cinnamon-filled donuts with the cream cheese glaze over the top. I'll tell you what. I'm going to see if they got cold milk. I didn't really look close enough. They're called Mexican donut bites. I don't know what I was thinking, that they were tater tots. But man, this takes it to a whole different level. Especially when you add in, accentuate with some cold milk. Quit fronting. Oh man, these are good. And look how they're encrusted in cinnamon. That cream cheese is cinnamon too. That's not just plain cream cheese. That's got cinnamon flavor also. Wash it down with some cold milk. Oh yeah. Good and hot too. They deep fry each order of the Mexican donuts fresh.
ice cold milk. Ooh, we got all that good fixings down in there. You know, I can't let that go to waste. We're going to get this, the best bite right here. Swipe all that leftover cinnamon cream cheese glaze. Don't waste a thing. Save one last drink of cold milk to wash it down with. All right, so here's an item that I don't think I've ever had at Taco John's before. Like I said, I always just stuck to the soft shell tacos. I'm sure I don't know if I've ever even had a hard shell taco from Taco John. And also something I've never gotten here before is their rice, their Mexican rice, which looks like, you know, Mexican rice that you would get at a regular Mexican restaurant. All right, set those tachos over here. So even though I had Trina on that one, you know, I had to try it with the Trina, which was great. Oh, look here. The beef burrito comes with diced onions, cheese, and their mild sauce. But you already know I'm coming with that spicy hot green sauce that y'all don't know nothing about. And then I'm going with their hot red sauce. I'm gonna put some of that hot red sauce on the rice.
Why would you put sauce on the rice without tasting it first?
Because you already know that's the way I'm going to be getting it. All right, here we go. That's got everything in a burrito that you would want. It's got the diced onions, the beef, and the cheese. Simple and delicious. I'll shut down a little diet. All right. Now let me taste the rice. Mm-hmm. It's good, not dry. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to hit it with some of this Trina and take this up to a level to where you couldn't even get a better rice in the finest Mexican restaurants. Now you're talking. Oh yeah, the best bite right there. Going to give me a bag full of soft shell tacos to take home with me. And then I'm going to give you some departing words, maybe a little more history before I hit the road here. All right, as I said, I got a bag full to go. Before I get out of here, another little history piece here. Y'all know the national treasure. Of course, his son, Kirk, who I mentioned earlier in the video, we used to go to Taco John's together. He was already at University of Evansville while I was in Mississippi as a freshman. Well, Sam, the national treasure, he is the one that got me to come and transfer from Northwest Mississippi up to University of Evansville when Dave Moore got the head coaching job. So that's one of the reasons why I always be indebted to the national treasure. He was always there for me when I was at the crossroads of different parts of my life. Well, anyway, I left Evansville December of my senior year after the football season ended because I was going to open my own restaurant and I didn't think I needed a college degree. Well, let's fast forward 14 years. Summer of 2002, I was tired of the restaurant business. The national treasure kind of tricked me. I'll tell you that story at another time, but he talked me into going back to school, going back to Evansville, finishing my degree, which I ended up 2 years later, went up there and walked in the spring of '04, cap and gown, did the whole thing. I will always love the national treasure and will always have a close place in my heart for him talking me into that. One of those places in the river of life where, you hit the crossroads and your life changes. Well, that was a couple of the parts where the national treasure was there for me. Also, you might remember a couple of weeks ago, I did a review in Georgetown, Kentucky, Fava's Diner. And I mentioned there that when I was in college in the fall of '86, we went to Georgetown and played Georgetown College in football. And I mentioned that we unfortunately left out of Georgetown without the victory. Well, let me just go on to the following year, fall of '87. Georgetown College came to University of Evansville. Unfortunate for Georgetown College, they left without their victory. And by the way, I just happened to get the game-ending quarterback sack at the I just had to throw that in there.